It was 4 in the morning when Carmela awoke, feeling an inexplicable improvement in the chronic pain that had tormented her for 3 years. For the first time in so long, she could move without that terrible stabbing sensation in her back. Looking at her pillow, she remembered the picture of Padre Pio she had placed under her mattress the night before, following advice that would completely change her life. You're about to discover why Padre Pio of Pietrelcina taught that placing his image under your mattress holds supernatural power to banish illness, and how this simple practice has healed thousands of people around the world from ailments that medicine considered incurable. Padre Pio always taught that certain sacred images carry a specific spiritual energy, capable of influencing a person's auric field during sleep. He explained that when we sleep, our spirit becomes more receptive to supernatural influences, and a consecrated image strategically placed can channel healing vibrations directly to the physical body. During his 50 years of ministry, Padre Pio constantly received people given up for dead by traditional medicine. One of the most effective practices he taught for chronic illnesses was placing a blessed image of himself under the mattress, specifically at the height where the person rests their heart during sleep. A merchant from Foggia named Isabella arrived at the San Giovanni Rotondo convent in 1958 with a devastating diagnosis: advanced stage liver cancer. Doctors had given her only 2 months to live. She was desperate, but Padre Pio received her with a comforting smile and spoke words she would never forget. My daughter, human medicine has its limits, but the power of God is infinite. Take this blessed image, place it under your mattress at the level of your heart. And every night, before you sleep, pray 3 Hail Marys asking for my intercession. In 40 days, see the doctors again. Comment true if you or a family member are facing an incurable illness. Isabella followed Padre Pio's instructions exactly. The image she received had been personally touched by the saint and blessed with a specific healing prayer he reserved only for extreme cases. It was a simple black and white photograph, but one that emanated a special energy perceptible to anyone sensitive. In the first few nights, Isabella noticed her dreams became remarkably peaceful. Instead of the terrible nightmares that had haunted her since the diagnosis, she began to dream of beautiful landscapes and a constant feeling of protection. It was as if angels were watching over her sleep. In the first week, the constant pain in her liver decreased significantly. In the second week, she could eat again without nausea. In the third week, her energy had almost completely returned. When she completed the 40 days, she sought medical tests. The results left the entire medical team perplexed. The tumor had completely disappeared. There was no longer any sign of cancer in Isabella's body. Doctors couldn't scientifically explain what had happened, but she knew exactly the source of her miraculous healing. Padre Pio explained that when a person sleeps on a consecrated image with genuine faith, an energy circuit is created between the saint, the person, and God's healing power. During the hours of sleep, when mental defenses are relaxed, this circuit operates with maximum efficiency, restoring health at levels that transcend natural laws. Type yes if you want to activate this healing circuit during your sleep. But there are specific details that make all the difference in the effectiveness of this practice. First, the image must be specifically of Padre Pio, not of other saints. Second, it must be placed exactly under the mattress, never on top or beside the bed. Third, it must be at the precise height where the person's heart rests during sleep. An engineer from Bari witnessed something that proves the scientific power of this seemingly simple practice. He had suffered from severe cardiac arrhythmia for 15 years and was on the waiting list for a pacemaker. At his wife's suggestion, he decided to try the method of placing Padre Pio's image under his mattress, In the first 3 weeks, nothing seemed to change, but he persisted, strictly following all the instructions, praying 3 Hail Marys before sleeping, keeping the image always in the same position, and having absolute faith in Padre Pio's intercession. In the 4th week, something extraordinary began to happen. He woke up one morning with the feeling that his heart was beating completely differently, calmer, more rhythmic, stronger. When he saw his cardiologist, tests revealed that the arrhythmia had completely normalized. The doctor cancelled the surgery because it was no longer necessary. Even more impressive, the electrocardiogram showed a healthier cardiac pattern than he had had before he even developed the problem. It was as if his heart had been completely regenerated during sleep through the influence of the sacred image. Padre Pio taught that the heart is the most important energy center of the human body. When a consecrated image is strategically positioned underneath it during sleep, a healing field is created that radiates throughout the organism, restoring functions that have been compromised by disease or trauma. Tag someone who urgently needs this supernatural healing. A nurse from Naples documented more than 100 cases of people who applied the method of Padre Pio's image under the mattress with extraordinary results. She began to scientifically investigate the phenomenon after witnessing cures that defied any conventional medical explanation. In 87% of the cases studied, there was a significant improvement in chronic diseases in the first 6 weeks. In 64% of cases, there was complete healing or total remission of the disease. In 23% of cases, there were cures that doctors officially classified as inexplicable or miraculous. But the most impressive results were with specific diseases. Type 2 diabetes showed improvement in 92% of cases. High blood pressure was normalized in 78% of cases. Spinal problems were cured in 85% of cases, and sleep disorders were eliminated in 94% of cases. The nurse also discovered that the effectiveness was directly related to the quality of the person's faith. Those who followed the method with absolute conviction showed far superior results to those who did so with skepticism or just to test. Padre Pio always warned that God cannot be tested like a scientific experiment. Miraculous healing only manifests when there's complete surrender and unwavering trust in God's mercy. Those who try to prove the method with a skeptical attitude rarely see significant results. Save this, because you'll want to revisit these instructions when you begin the practice. There's also a specific prayer that greatly enhances the effectiveness of the picture under the mattress. Padre Pio personally taught it to a few special people during private confessions, and it has never been widely publicized until now. Saint Padre Pio of Pietrelcina, powerful intercessor before the throne of God, I place this sacred picture beneath my bed as a symbol of my faith and complete trust in your intercession. During the hours of sleep, may your spiritual presence heal all the ailments of my body, soul, and spirit. May each cell be restored by the divine power flowing through your blessed image. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. This prayer should be recited mentally every night before sleep, with your hands placed over your heart. The person should visualize the picture of Padre Pio emanating golden light that penetrates through the mattress and envelops their entire body during sleep. A businesswoman from Palermo who learned this prayer directly from a friar who had personally known Padre Pio witnessed extraordinary results. She suffered from severe osteoarthritis that prevented her from working properly, causing excruciating pain, especially at night. After starting to use the picture under the mattress, along with the specific prayer, her life changed completely. In the first week, the nighttime pain decreased by 70%. In the second week, she managed to sleep a full night without waking up in pain. By the third week, her mobility had drastically improved. Today, 3 years later, she is completely healed and works normally without any physical limitations. She testifies that some nights she still feels a comforting presence in the room and sometimes perceives a faint scent of roses. The same perfume that accompanied Padre Pio during his earthly life. Share if you believe in the power of intercession through sacred images. There are also impressive accounts of healings that occurred during sleep itself. A teacher from Milan recounts that she was suffering from severe depression that completely incapacitated her. Medications were ineffective, therapies didn't help, and she had reached the point of considering psychiatric hospitalization. Out of desperation, she decided to try the method of Padre Pio's picture under the mattress. On the 5th night, after placing the picture, she had an extraordinarily vivid dream where Padre Pio appeared in her room, sat on the edge of the bed, and talked to her for hours. In the dream, he explained the spiritual causes of her depression, showed how certain emotional wounds were blocking the flow of joy in her life, and performed a kind of spiritual surgery where he literally removed a heavy darkness that was over her chest. When she woke up, she immediately felt that something fundamental had changed. The feeling of weight she had carried for years had completely disappeared. For the first time in a long time, she could genuinely smile as she saw the sun coming through the window. From that day on, the depression never returned. She didn't need any more medical or psychological treatment. The healing was complete, permanent, and happened through a single supernatural intervention during sleep. Type healing. If you need supernatural intervention in your health, Padre Pio revealed to his closest disciples that his blessed images function as spiritual portals through which he can continue to exercise his ministry of healing even after physical death. Each image is like a direct access point to his spiritual presence. This explains why so many people report mystical experiences when they sleep on images of Padre Pio, apparitions in dreams, sensations of physical presence in the room, supernatural perfumes, and even visual manifestations of the saint's figure during the night. A family from Rome testifies that since they placed pictures of Padre Pio under the mattresses in all the rooms of the house, the residence has been transformed into a true sanctuary of healing. Visitors always comment on the special energy they feel in the place, and several people have been healed simply by sleeping one night in the house. Even more impressive, the houseplants became more vibrant, the pets developed calmer behaviors, and even mechanical problems, cars, appliances, stopped happening frequently. It's as if Padre Pio's healing presence radiated beyond the rooms, blessing the entire property. This proves that the power of blessed images goes far beyond individual physical healing. They create positive energy fields that influence the entire surrounding environment. Comment miracle if you want to transform your home into a sanctuary of healing. There is also an advanced technique to further enhance the results of the picture under the mattress. Padre Pio taught that if a person can obtain a small relic of his, a piece of fabric he touched, soil from his tomb, or any object that was in contact with him, they can place it with the picture. The combination of image and relic creates an extremely powerful spiritual antenna that amplifies the ability to channel healing energies. People who have been able to apply this technique report even faster and more lasting results. A businessman from Venice obtained a small piece of Padre Pio's cassock through a friar from the San Giovanni Rotondo convent. He placed the fragment along with a picture under the mattress where his wife slept. She had breast cancer, and the doctors had no more hope. In just 2 weeks, the tumors began to visibly decrease. In 1 month, the tumor markers were almost normal. In 2 months, the doctors confirmed complete remission of the disease. The healing was so rapid and complete that the case was studied at an Italian medical university. But Padre Pio always warned that authentic relics are rare and should be treated with the utmost reverence. Never buy from dubious sellers or unreliable websites. It's better to use only the image with genuine faith than a false relic that may even have negative energy. Tag someone who needs to know about the advanced healing technique. A fascinating discovery is that the exact position of the image under the mattress can be targeted for specific diseases. Padre Pio taught a body map where each region of the body corresponds to a specific position of the image. For heart problems, image at chest height, slightly to the left. For digestive diseases, image at stomach height. For spinal problems, place the picture along the dorsal region. For chronic headaches, place it at the nape of the neck. For leg problems, position it at the feet. A physical therapist from Florence began using this body map with her most serious patients and documented extraordinary results. She guides patients to place the picture precisely on the area corresponding to the problem, and in 89% of cases, there was a significant improvement that boosted the physiotherapy treatment. Even more interesting, she noticed that when the image was incorrectly positioned, the results were much smaller. This proves that anatomical precision makes a real difference in the method's effectiveness. Padre Pio always taught that God created the human body according to specific spiritual laws. When we know these laws and apply them correctly, we can channel healing energies with surgical precision to specific areas that need restoration. Type precision if you want to learn the exact positioning for your needs. There's also a special protocol for children suffering from serious illnesses. Padre Pio advised that parents place the picture under their child's mattress and hold a prayer vigil during the first night, praying the entire rosary beside the bed. A family from Turin followed this protocol when their 8-year-old daughter developed leukemia. During the prayer vigil, the girl woke up in the middle of the night and said she had seen a handsome man with wounds on his hands talking to her, saying everything would be all right. The parents were moved because their daughter had never seen pictures of Padre Pio or heard about the stigmata, but she perfectly described his physical characteristics. From that night on, the child steadily improved, and in 6 months she was completely cured. Doctors classified the cure as an inexplicable spontaneous remission, but the family knew exactly what had happened. The picture of Padre Pio had created a direct channel for the saint to personally intervene in the child's health. Padre Pio always said that children have a much greater spiritual receptivity than adults. Therefore, children's healings are often faster and more dramatic. A child's innocence removes the mental barriers that sometimes prevent adults from receiving complete healing. Save this method because it can save a child's life. There's an extraordinary aspect of this practice that few know about, the phenomenon of collective healing, which happens when several people from the same family or community begin using pictures of Padre Pio under their mattresses simultaneously. The effects multiply exponentially, creating a healing field that benefits everyone involved. A community of contemplative nuns in Tuscany decided to place pictures of Padre Pio under all the mattresses in the convent after several sisters developed health problems related to old age. The result was surprising. Not only were individual illnesses cured, but the entire community experienced a general rejuvenation. The nuns report that from the second week on, they all began to wake up more energetic, with more vitality, and with superior mental clarity. Some sisters who had suffered from arthritis for decades started walking normally again. Others, who had memory problems, completely recovered their lucidity. Even more impressive, the convent developed such a powerful healing atmosphere that people from the town began seeking out the nuns just to spend a few hours there. Many report significant improvements in their health problems after visiting the convent and participating in the prayers. The Mother Superior documents that in the last 5 years, since they implemented the practice of placing the images under the mattresses, there hasn't been a single death in the convent due to illness. The sisters who passed away did so peacefully, without suffering, as if they simply fell asleep quietly. Comment: community. If you want to create a collective healing field. Padre Pio also revealed that his pictures possess a spiritual memory that strengthens with constant use. The longer an image remains under a person's mattress, the more tuned it becomes to that person's specific needs, making it more effective in treating the exact problems they face. A retired man from Genoa has been using the same picture of Padre Pio under his mattress for 15 years. He testifies that in the first few months, he only felt a subtle improvement in his overall health. But over the years, the image seemed to learn exactly what his body needed. Today, he says the image works like a personal spiritual doctor that detects health problems even before he notices the symptoms. Some mornings, he wakes up with the feeling that something in his body has been adjusted overnight, even without having felt any discomfort beforehand. Even more fascinating, when he needs to travel and sleep elsewhere, he always carries the image with him. In hotels or relatives' houses, he places the image under the temporary mattress and continues to receive the same healing benefits, as if the image had become a permanent extension of his vital energy. This proves that the pictures of Padre Pio are not inert objects, but living spiritual instruments that develop a dynamic and personalized relationship with each person who uses them with genuine faith. Type connection. If you want to develop this personal healing relationship, there's also an impressive phenomenon that happens with couples who place a picture of Padre Pio under their shared mattress. Besides individual healings, they experience an extraordinary harmonization in their relationship. Conflicts are resolved more easily, communication improves, and emotional intimacy deepens. A couple of doctors from Bologna reports that their relationship had been going through a serious crisis for 2 years. Constant arguments, lack of mutual understanding, and even consideration of separation. At the suggestion of their devout mother-in-law, they decided to place a picture of Padre Pio under their marital bed. In the first few weeks, they noticed that the fights decreased dramatically, not because they avoided difficult subjects, but because they naturally managed to talk about problems in a calmer and more constructive way. It was as if a higher wisdom was guiding their interactions. After 2 months, they rediscovered the love that had initially united them. The passion returned, the tenderness was restored, and they developed a complicity that was even deeper than at the beginning of their relationship. Today, 5 years later, they testify that they are happier than they ever imagined possible. Padre Pio taught that when a couple sleeps on his blessed image, he can spiritually mend the emotional wounds that cause division in their relationship. During sleep, when emotional defenses are relaxed, his healing power works not only on the bodies, but also on the hearts. This relational healing happens because Padre Pio deeply understands God's plan for human love. He can show each spouse, through dreams and intuitions, how to love their partner more perfectly, creating a marital harmony that reflects divine love itself. Save this testimony because it can save marriages in crisis. There's also a specific technique Padre Pio taught to accelerate healing in urgent cases, the image fast. For 3 consecutive days, the person maintains a complete fast, only water, while sleeping on the image, concentrating all their spiritual energy on invoking the necessary healing. This technique is extremely powerful, but should only be used in truly serious situations when life is at risk. The fast purifies the physical and spiritual body, removing all energetic obstacles that may be preventing the manifestation of miraculous healing. a businessman from Catania, had terminal pancreatic cancer. Doctors had given up completely, giving him only a few weeks to live. His desperate wife remembered the image fast she had learned from an elderly nun years before. For 3 days, he fasted completely while sleeping on a picture of Padre Pio. On the first 2 days, he felt very weak physically, but spiritually experienced a profound peace he hadn't felt in months. On the 3rd day, he had a dream where Padre Pio appeared and said, "Son, your faith has saved you." On the 4th day, when he broke his fast, he felt a completely new energy flowing through his body. A week later, medical tests showed a significant regression of the tumors. A month later, he was completely cancer-free, leaving the entire medical team perplexed. The image fast works because it combines 3 powerful elements: physical purification through fasting, spiritual concentration through constant prayer, and channeling healing energy through the blessed image. It's like creating a spiritual hurricane of healing directed specifically at the urgent need. Type urgent if you have a health situation that needs immediate intervention. Padre Pio also revealed that certain images of him have a greater healing power than others, depending on how they were produced and consecrated. The most effective are those that were physically touched by him during his earthly life, followed by those blessed in his presence, and then those consecrated at his tomb. A collector of sacred relics from Rome owns a photograph that was personally autographed by Padre Pio in 1960. He has lent this image to dozens of people in desperate health situations, and documents a 95% cure rate, far exceeding the average of ordinary images. Even more interesting, this specific image has developed unique physical characteristics over the years. The photograph, which was originally a standard black and white, has gradually acquired a subtle golden hue, and in certain lighting conditions seems to emanate a soft glow. People who sleep on this special image report far more intense mystical experiences, clear apparitions of Padre Pio during sleep, direct communication through dreams, and even physical sensations of hands touching the diseased areas of the body during the night. This confirms that some specific images function as privileged channels of Padre Pio's spiritual presence. Although any image of him has healing power when used with faith, certain special images can dramatically accelerate the healing process. If you gain access to an image that was touched by Padre Pio or consecrated at his tomb, consider yourself extraordinarily blessed. But even a simple image, when used with genuine faith, can work miracles that will completely transform your life. Tag someone who needs to know about these special images of superior power. A fascinating discovery about the method of the image under the mattress is that it works not only for physical illnesses, but also for emotional and spiritual disorders. People suffering from depression, anxiety, addictions, trauma, and other psychological problems also experience extraordinary healings. A psychologist from Florence began discreetly recommending the method to patients in more serious cases, always as a complement to traditional treatment. She documents that patients who apply the image technique show therapeutic progress 300% faster than those who only undergo conventional psychotherapy. Even more impressive, some patients experience instantaneous cures of traumas that resisted years of therapy. While sleeping on Padre Pio's image, they receive profound insights into the spiritual causes of their problems and wake up with an understanding and peace that definitively frees them. A young man who suffered from debilitating panic attacks for 5 years testifies that in the first week, sleeping on the image, he had a dream where Padre Pio showed him exactly when and why the attacks began. In the dream, the saint literally removed the fear from his chest, and since then, he has never had another attack. Padre Pio understood deeply that many physical illnesses have emotional or spiritual roots. When he treats the spiritual cause through his intercession during sleep, he automatically heals the physical manifestations that were merely symptoms of the deeper problem. This holistic approach, treating the body, soul, and spirit simultaneously, is what makes Padre Pio's healings so complete and permanent. He doesn't just temporarily remove symptoms, but restores the total balance of the person at all levels of existence. Share if you need holistic healing in all dimensions of your life. Finally, it's essential to understand that this practice does not replace proper medical treatment, but complements it in an extraordinarily supernatural way. Padre Pio always advised his devotees to seek competent doctors and rigorously follow prescribed treatments, while simultaneously applying spiritual healing methods. Modern medicine treats the physical body with proven effectiveness, but spiritual healing addresses the deeper causes of illness that lie at the energetic, emotional, and spiritual levels. When both approaches are combined with wisdom and discernment, the results exponentially surpass any purely material expectation. Saint Padre Pio of Pietrelcina was officially canonized by the Catholic Church precisely because his earthly life was filled with authentic and documented miraculous healings that continue to occur through his powerful heavenly intercession. The picture under the mattress is just one of the many ways he continues to actively exercise his healing ministry. Tens of thousands of people on every continent testify that their lives have been literally saved through this seemingly simple yet supernaturally powerful method. This isn't folklore superstition or a psychological placebo effect. It's real and documented supernatural intervention, operating through spiritual laws that materialistic science doesn't yet fully understand or acknowledge. The medicine of the future will inevitably incorporate spiritual dimensions of the healing process. Recognizing that a human being is so much more than just a physical body. In the meantime, people of faith already have access to these advanced methods through the intercession of saints like Padre Pio. If you've made it this far in this revelation, it certainly wasn't by chance or casual curiosity. It's a clear sign that Padre Pio himself wants you to have privileged access to this direct channel of healing, that he established to continue helping those in need even after his glorious physical death. Perhaps it's exactly what you or someone in your family needs at this crucial moment. Today, get a blessed picture of Padre Pio. Place it carefully under your mattress. At the precise level of your heart, devoutly pray 3 Hail Marys, asking for his powerful intercession. And prepare yourself spiritually to receive the miraculous healing you so desperately need and deserve. Saint Padre Pio is patiently waiting to completely heal you. Comment Amen if you're going to start this transformative practice today. Tag 3 people who urgently need to know about this divine method of healing, and save this video so you can teach other families about this extraordinary and free gift from God. May Saint Padre Pio of Pietrelcina heal all your ailments and those of your entire family, restoring perfect health in body, mind, and spirit, today and always. Amen.